Good afternoon. I'm Olivier Chevalier, and I will bring you through this presentation about tasty and sustainable plant-based meat alternatives with BeneoPro W Tex textured wheat protein. Are you looking for a great tasting vegan or vegetarian beef burger imitation? Crunchy vegan barbecue merguez? Vegetarian bites? Or a full vegan Italian tasting pasta pot? If yes, let's think to BeneoPro W Tex. Beneo invested in an extrusion line and benefited of group synergy or vertical integration, being a producer of vital wheat gluten. This is giving us production and development flexibility for adapted and specialized solutions. This combined with application development capacities, market intelligence, consumer insight, and marketing support to help you develop your product. Our product is called BeneoPro W Tex WF 65701. What is it? It is a textured wheat protein made from wheat gluten and wheat flour. It contains 65% protein on the dry matter. In the dry state, it appears like beige tan flaky granule, the size between 4 to 10 millimeters. Once hydrated, it forms a fibrous and spongy matrix, very similar to that of ground meat in terms of chewability. The water retention is 2 grams of water per gram of textured wheat protein. What are the main characteristics of this product? First of all, and the most remarkable, is the texture, which is stable after hydration, meaning that it gives you a very nice chewability in the mouth. We demonstrate that by using a test with a spatula, and we push with the spatula on the product after hydration. And the product is not crushed by the spatula, by the pressure of the spatula, and remain in shape. We have a small video to illustrate that. It's only a few seconds. As you can see, the product remains in particle, stable particles, and is not crushed by the spatula. A second characteristic is the fast hydration. After 15 minutes, the product reaches almost its maximum hydration capacity. And this is in static condition without agitation. With agitation, it can be reduced to 5 to 10 minutes, and vacuum also helps to decrease that time. A third very important and interesting characteristic is the great neutral taste. More than 90% of the person having tasted burgers made with our textured wheat protein declare that they do not perceive any vegetable taste or a very weak vegetable taste. More than 90%, very high rating. The color of the product is light, meaning that it can be used to develop product with a light color, but it is also easily colored for red beef or red meat imitation products. Finally, the structure is granular, but between the granule, slightly fibrous, which is ideal to imitate ground meat products. But of course, we need more product to develop further application, more application in the future. That's why we have developed the BeneoPro W Tex WF 65701, which is in composition similar to the 65701, meaning 65% protein, so also a product made from wheat flour and wheat gluten, but the size is smaller. between 3 to 7 millimeters. You have a picture on the right side. This product is now commercially available also. Another range extension product is the BeneoPro W Tex WG75 4001. This product is made purely from gluten, and because of that it's higher in protein content, 75%. It is still a bit smaller, between 2 to 6 millimeter. This product is a prototype for the time being, but samples of industrial production are available. It's the same for the BeneoPro W Tex LF65 8001. That's a combination of wheat protein with de-oiled linseed brown flour. Naturally, the product is brown in color. Again, you have a picture on the right side. So you don't need to add any coloring agent when you want to mimic red meat product. And the product is ideal to replace minced beef meat in chili sin carne, in meat pies, or in the French hachis parmentier. We have a last interesting product in development, combining wheat protein with chickpea flour that allow to get a fibrous structure. So after hydration, when the product is mixed, it can be disintegrated in fibers, like you can see on the picture on the right side. And we see an interesting potential to replace tuna meat because it gives a very nice tuna meat aspect. We have developed a range of great tasting recipe. First one being vegetarian or vegan beef burger imitation. That's the recipe. First of all, I want to remark the short ingredient list, which is also a trend for the time being in the food industry to reduce the ingredient list number. The product is of course containing all textured wheat protein as the protein source, being the frame of the product. And then you need binders. We use a binding compound made of Remy FGP, which is a pre-gel rice starch with a short texture. This will give some cohesion to the particles during the mixing and allow an easy formation of the burger with the burger device. The other component of the binding system is egg white powder, and egg white powder will provide the cohesion during baking. Besides that, we only use beef flavor or onion flavor, malt extract for the color, salt and pepper. In terms of process, the flavor, the malt extract, the salt and pepper are dissolved in the hydration water. Then the textured wheat protein, BeneoPro W Tex, is mixed in that solution during 5 to 10 minutes with a Hobart mixer in order to hydrate the protein. After that time, the starch and egg white are added and the mix is blended for 24 minutes. The paste is then ready for shaping the burgers with a press, and the burgers are pre-cooked 3 minutes in a steam oven at 120 degrees. The purpose of that last step is to pasteurize the burgers. Like that, the burger, they can be or packed under modified atmosphere, or they can be frozen. The burgers are freeze-thaw stable. They can be baked after that, fried on a pan directly from the frozen state or after thawing in the fridge. We have a vegan version of this recipe. Instead of using as binding system the combination of pre-gel rice starch and egg white, we do use methyl cellulose. In order to prevent the methyl cellulose to form lumps, the methyl cellulose is dispersed in oil, vegetable oil. Another important thing is to use ice water in the process in order to get a good solubilization of the cellulose during mixing. The other ingredients remain the same: the flavors, the malt extract, the salt and pepper. The process also, besides the fact that it is made with ice water, and also in that case using a Thermomix instead of the Hobart mixer. Using a recipe, you can develop a very nice vegetarian or vegan burgers, high in plant protein, soy-free, which do not contain additive or preservative, but which will give you a very juicy, tasty, and satisfying product. Another recipe is a vegetarian broccoli and cheese patty. In that recipe, a part of the textured wheat protein is replaced by broccoli and cheese. The binding system is also composed of the pre-gel rice starch and the egg white border. To give some more taste, the textured wheat protein is hydrated with a vegetable broth. And you can, like that, obtain a very tasty patty with the supplement of some vegetable in the recipe. A fourth recipe is a vegan barbecue merguez sausage. Again, a very short ingredient list. The textured protein, hydrated with iced water. Being vegan, we use methyl cellulose, again dispersed in oil before use to prevent lumping. And we use a combination of two merguez pies mix, a hot one and a sweet one, which are dispersed in the hydration water of the textured protein. It's a process made with the Thermomix. And of course, the paste is filled in casings, and after that cook 25 minutes at 80 degrees in a steam oven. After the cooking, the casing can be peeled off and the sausage fried on a pan or on a barbecue. And you can develop a traditional but vegan merguez sausage, juicy, with a unique bite, made with ingredients you know, which are grown on European soil, and let's not forget, high in protein. What's not to like about that? Nuggets are a popular product. And we also have a very good recipe for vegetarian nuggets. Again, with our textured wheat protein, egg white powder being the binding agent. In the recipe, we use a bit more oil in order to create an emulsion which will improve the texture and also the color of the nugget. It's a product made in the Thermomix at lab scale, meaning that at industrial scale, it will be done in a bowl chopper. Again, it is a freeze-store stable recipe. Using that recipe, you can think to develop such kind of product with a crispy crust, a tender center, filled up on an excellent source of wheat protein, which looks, cooks and sizzles like the real deal, but being plant-based. We have also developed an emulsified white sausage. This is the recipe, again, quite short ingredient list. All textured wheat protein is used at 14%. In that case, also, we are using a bit more of oil in order to create the emulsion. Egg white powder combined with our pre-gel high starch Remy FGP is the binding system. For the taste and flavor, we use some Frankfurter spice flavor. As you can see on the picture, we can achieve a very light color white sausage with a very smooth texture and a very good bite. The process at lab scale is using a Thermomix. Again, on the industrial scale, it's a ball chopper process in order to disintegrate the textured wheat protein in fine particles and get a smooth texture. Last recipe is a vegan bolognese type sauce. It's quite easy to do. First thing to do is to prepare a tomato sauce. In the tomato sauce, we are using Remy Pure S51. That's a cleanable starch which resists to pasteurization temperature and quite low pH. When this tomato sauce is prepared, the textured wheat protein is hydrated with the hydration water, and then it is grinded in a meat grinder through a plate of 4 millimeters to get the right particle size of the textured wheat protein, which will mimic the ground meat, the minced meat in the tomato sauce. Now that we have developed a smaller particle size textured wheat protein, this grinding step is not needed anymore. Using this recipe, you can, if you wish, develop such kind of product. A full veg pasta pot, a wholesome meal on the go, meat-free, full taste, being a source of vegetable protein, suitable for vegetarian, even vegan, free from soy, artificial flavors and preservative. You are now ready to create great tasting vegan or vegetarian beef burger imitation, crunchy barbecue merguez sausages, vegetarian bites, or full veg Italian tasting pasta pot. With BeneoPro W Tex, of course. And you will achieve nicely tasting product with great texture and a ground meat structure, or emulsified using straightforward production process with simple vegan or vegetarian recipe containing a limited number of consumer-friendly ingredients. What else do you want to know? I'm happy to answer your question.